is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click on that subscribe button thing, boo, 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 and then the bell, and you'll be the first to be notified when my videos are released. Also, I give away the demo card to first-time subscribers. So if you're a first-timer, go into the comments, put your email in there so I can talk to you, and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the demo card. Yay! Stuff for free. Anyway, this video is going to be on the new Darling Donkeys. It is part of the new mini catalog in January to June, and this is actually a freebie for Sale-A-Bration. This is one of the free stamp sets, so super cool. And if you need a catalog, put in the comments your email and I'll get your address and we'll get you out a catalog. So we're going to be using Darling Donkeys, Life is Beautiful for the tree and the leaves, and My Meadow we're using for the grass. Also, we're going to be using the very smallest Stitch So Sweetly, say that 3 times fast, die. And let's start with our card base. And our card base is just jade, and it's the typical 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then you need to cut out 2 pieces of shimmery white. Shimmery white looks best when you color anything. So shimmery white, and these are 5 1/4 by 4. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to create this background. And I actually did a lot of cheating. There's no masking. There's nothing really hard about what I did to this card. So I kind of little bit of cheating. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these new blending brushes by Stampin' Up. These are also in the new catalog. They're great. You get 3 of them. They're like 18 bucks. If you click on, if you go to my video description stuff, you can click on the little link and it'll take you directly to my Stampin' Up site. And you can order these on January, what is it, 4th? So what you need to do is just like any other blending brush is you stamp off first and then you blend in circles. And we're going to blend and blend and blend. And we're going to go all the way down to almost the bottom. So keep blending. Yeah, I'm not doing any masking. Usually when I do a blending technique, I'll stamp the image on another piece of paper, and then I'll fussy cut it or die cut it, or use my brother machine and cut it, and then I'll make a mask, and then I'll do all that. But this time we're not doing that. So I'm done with my Daffodil Delight. Sorry, I forgot to tell you what that was. And then I'm going to take just jade and take another blending brush. So you get 3 of these brushes in a pack for I think like 18 bucks. So it's not that bad. And I'm going to blend in like so. And I'm kind of using, I think Just Jade is kind of a cartoony kind of color. And since our donkey's cartoony, I thought this would work well. And I'm going to blend into that yellow. So stamp off. Go from the scratch paper inwards and go over that yellow a little bit like so. So that's about right. And every time you ink something, it's going to look slightly different. I can't get exactly the same because it's impossible. So that's what we got there. And now to the tree. Life is Beautiful is what we're going to use for the tree. So you got the tree and the leaves here. So I'm going to put it under my Stamparatus. You do need to use your Stamparatus for this. And instead of using my big cartridge for ink cartridge for my early espresso, I filled an uninked Stampin' Spot. These things are great, and it keeps your Stamparatus nice and clean. So I inked one of those, and now I'm just going to ink it up here. And I've lined it up already. So when you put this stamp down, you'll notice you can manipulate the trunk a lot. So manipulate it and put it in the spot you want, and then push down. Now this is, see why we're using the Stamparatus. This, anytime you got a really big stamp, I would use the Stamparatus because it's just better, making sure that you got everything in the right spot. keep inking until you get it nice and dark, because we didn't do any masking, so you want to definitely get down the ink nice and dark on this. So I'm going to continue to do that, and I'll be right back. The tree nice and dark, and look, my plate isn't like covered with ink because of my big stamp. So that's how you do the tree. Now I'm going to take these leaves, and I'm going to also use the Stamparatus, and I'm going to put them, you know, wherever you want to put them, really. So I'm going to put that right here, close that up, and then I'm going to be using another Stampin' Spot of Granny Apple Green and ink this up. Lay it down, and I'm going to do this just a couple of times until I get it how I want. Now here's an important part. I'm going to need to move this around because I need to do the other side. So I'm going to take my chamois and clean off the stamp. Don't try to do it without cleaning it off in between, because you'll regret it. And even take maybe a piece of scratch paper after you do that and just kind of get off whatever you need to get off. And then we're going to move this over, and I'm going to put it like right here. Close it up. Get that Stampin' Spot again. Move this over. Ink it up nice and good. And I'm going to do it again. All right, that's how you do the leaves. Now I'm going to grab the donkey, and I'm going to use this little dude here. So I'm going to take him, and I'm going to line him up where I want. And I'm going to leave a spot to put in our sentiment, because the sentiment goes between the donkey and the tree. So you want to leave yourself a spot. Make sure he's not crooked. And then I'm going to use Memento on him, because we're going to color him in. And then black just gives a nice outline to anything. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And he looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and color Mr. Donkey here. And I'm going to take my light and dark crumb cake and color him in. Now I'm going to use light crumb cake and color the entire donkey up. Now you're going to go, oh, but you got some of the color, you know, from when we sponged first on the donkey. That's why a lot of times I mask. But we're not going to do it this time. We're going to be quickie about it, because I don't think you necessarily need it. I mean, you can't tell on the card, so why bother? So I'm going to go ahead and fill him in completely with the light, and I'll be right back. So I've got my light crumb cake layered down, and actually I gave him a couple of layers. I did him a couple of times just to get him a little darker. And I'm going to take the dark crumb cake, and I'm going to do like his ears and his hair and the tail and the hoofs and maybe the little thing right here. Maybe outline the leg a little bit. You know, do your normal kind of shading. And I'm going to give him another layer, and I'll be right back. Now you're finished with Mr. Donkey here. You're going to go ahead and grab the tiny grass from my meadow, and it's this one right here, and your Granny Apple Green, and just go like stamp, stamp, stamp. So when you're doing this, go stamp, 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 so you get different like variations of the green. And I just did the grass all over. I'll do that, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab the cloud also from my meadow here and some balmy blue, and I'm just going to put in like a couple of clouds here. Now you're going to die cut in balmy blue from Stitch So Sweetly, the smallest little die here, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp in Just Jade, It's Your Birthday from Darling Donkeys. So let's ink it up and just go ahead and put it right in the middle. And this little die is perfect for this particular stamp. I mean, that's the perfect size. So let's close that up. Before we put our little sentiment on here, let's go ahead and put the card onto the base, or the front onto the base, and just stick that here in the middle. And then I put a dimensional on the back of the sentiment here, just like so. And that's the front of the card. Now let's do the inside of the card. And it looks like this is really cute. I also use shimmer white because I like it. Because it's just great for doing any kind of blending. And I've got a little donkey that's going to be blended here in a second. So go ahead and use this stamp from the donkey, Darling Donkeys, and stamp him there in Memento. He's looking good. And then we're going to also grab Hee Haw from the stamp set. And guess what? I put on my label upside down. That was really stupid. So anyway, I'm going to put Hee Haw here right on the top. And then we're going to go ahead and color them in the same way we did the front. So the light and the dark crumb cake. So I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. I've got them all colored up. All we have to do is put it inside the card, and that is it. So if you like the card, you're first time subscriber, subscribe and go to the comments, put in your email and see if you've won the card. So this is in the new catalog, and if you need to place any orders, go to the comments or go to my body of my video and all the links will be there. And that's it.